How we doing? Happy Thursday. We've made it almost to the end of the week, but it is the last day of the week for the Ryan Ripken Show because we're Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But I hope you guys are having a great Thursday so far. If you're a Baltimore Orioles fan, then you might be feeling a little bit frisky. You might be feeling this sensation that you hadn't really felt, I don't know, maybe since early in 2024, mid 2024, or heck, I don't even know, but you haven't really felt that this season. We're going to talk about all of what the Birds are up to right now. Some other stories, though, because we like to go around Major League Baseball. We are going to talk about, which I think is still this fascinating development with the Boston Red Sox. And Jeff Passan even then talked on Section 10 about, well, if Boston really wants to make a change, they have their superstar prospect, and he's still not joining the big league club as we record this. We did want to play a video yesterday because you guys know that our backbone is about baseball. So we did have Matt Holliday in here, and how about hitting approach? And Matt Holliday talks about what he specifically tried to do as a hitter. I think it's a great little bit of information for you all, and we'll react to that. What else we got going on? Hey, there's a certain number 35 on the Baltimore Orioles that's starting to swing the stick pretty damn good, at least in the last few days. Not saying Adley's back yet, but there's a reason why you should be optimistic about Mr. Rutschman. And then talking about being optimistic, haven't done a breakdown yet this week, so stop traffic. How about another guy that's seemed to have turned the corner for the Baltimore Orioles? That's Mr. Charlie Morton. And Charlie, I got a breakdown on the big board over here. We're to get to that and a whole lot more this show, including what's gone wrong with Zach. It's intern Sam's last day. Can you believe it? Oh, and then we'll have some call-ins to wrap up the show. That's what we have right now. But to show you who is in studio, you might have an idea. I mentioned the first one, Zach Bollinger.
You mentioned both.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to the second one.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I'm good. It is good to see everyone. It's a beautiful Thursday.
Good day to be down here.
Those are fine. Rashod Bateman is staying long-term. Ravens rewarding their own. Good. Something's happening in Baltimore. Good day to be here.
Good day to be here. And look, that smile right there. You're actually smiling on a Thursday. You didn't do that last week or the week before.
There was this, actually the week before was a Wednesday, which is crazy because there was never
so you weren't smiling on a food day? No.
But that's fine. That was when people said it the first time.
Yeah, like why you have that resting like, oh, woe is me face? Some would say a resting bitch face.
It's because I think originally I was letting the cold streak get to me, but now I'm impressed with it.
Oh, the cold streak, you say? Well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. And yes, intern Sam is behind the sticks. It is his last day.
It is my last day, everybody. It's been great doing this. So I get one last run behind the sticks. I saw, who was it? Laura wants to know why it's my last day. So internship has been a part of a project for my graduation requirement, which the last day for that is today. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been a part of this. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm sick of this place, and I hate you guys. No, I would never say that.
He would just think it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll only think
he would never say it, but he'd just think it.
Wow. Well, wait until you graduate, Sam. Actually, here's the thing. I feel like I control whether Sam graduates because here's the thing. Who gets the emails from your superiors? It's me.
That's true.
And maybe I could just write, Sam has not lived up to his expectations.
Timu Creamy Kev.
He's wondering how a dog, Mr. Studio Pup, could get to the studio. He's starting to act out. I know.
Things are just so out of character.
He's getting too confident.
But like maybe he's starting to dress a little like Kevin now. We won't go that far, but
not quite.
Maybe he's gonna have to do some push-ups.
If he showed up in a polo, I'd start getting concerned. I'd be like, oh no.
We haven't hit that point. Y'all don't gotta worry about that.
Intern Sam, who knows? Maybe we'll find a way to get him back here. And then just like we do with everyone that's leaving the Ryan Ripken show, we have to throw him in the harbor. So
they just had the oil slick down there. You can't throw me in the harbor.
Well, that's just poor timing for you there, Sam.
Geez.
Shouldn't have quit this week.
Yep. Bad week to leave the Ryan Ripken show. But hey, for all of you out there, we appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you figured out we are from Baltimore, So we do care about a lot of things in the Baltimore community, but we're going to talk a lot more than sports. We talk lifestyle. We talk around Major League Baseball. And then once we get the football season, then it's football season. We'll be on that a whole heck of a lot here. And we're cooking every week. So stop by. It's a great community. And we also have a community Discord. So you guys check out the Discord. It's being revamped. And it's a place where everyone can join. We will put that link. It is for free. FREE, free. If you need help spelling that, Sam, to graduate next week. But guys, just on opening notes here, as if something just feels different, maybe it's because we haven't named this thing yet. Maybe this is Cocky the Rooster.
That's a unique.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the move.
Okay, so his name's not Cocky yet. So I don't know. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's because Sam's leaving.
We figured out what his name isn't.
Maybe workshop time. Maybe it's because I don't know. It's actually starting to feel like summer. 90 degrees outside, humid. Or maybe it's because the Orioles just won another series. They've won 5 in a row. They have a chance to sweep the Seattle Mariners, who are one of the best teams in the American League. And then people are having this sensation of, whoa, wait a minute. Are the O's trying to figure some things out here? Coming from behind to get a victory. Timely 2-strike, 2-out hitting from Heston Kjerstad. And then the Mountain closes out the game. You're kind of sitting there going, damn, this is nice. And it's still a long way to go for the Baltimore Orioles. But, Zach, you were on last night with Kevin and Zach Reacts. So, 1:45, 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I think we ended at 2:10 a.m. And it actually incredible. We talk about this incredible community. At 2:10 a.m., we had still 117 people live on YouTube. Wow. So, truly incredible. But there's just something different right now. And I said it's the best I've felt about this team since last July, because it's the first time they've won 5 straight games since first half of last year, I'd assume. I know they didn't win any more than 3 in the second half. It feels like the team is just playing loose and playing comfortable, confident baseball. They're not pressing. I think throughout the end of last season and into the start of this season, as things were kind of snowballing in the opposite direction, every player seemed to almost have the I need to be the hero. I need to be the one to hit the go-ahead home run. I need to, get the double to get myself in scoring position. But it almost feels recently they have the pass the baton mentality where it's, okay, you get him over to third, I'll get the fly ball to get him in. Okay, we need a big hit here. Adley plays hero ball. He gets it in, but then Heston Kjerstad comes up, has been struggling recently, getting a little hot the past 2 games. 2 strikes or 2 outs, 2 strikes, triple down the line. It feels like it's every game. It's just they're passing it off to someone else. They're playing team baseball. And I said last night, 3 weeks ago, that game, the Orioles lose 6-1. The Orioles lose that game 6-1. As soon as Cade gave up that RBI double to Cal Raleigh, they probably wouldn't have thrown Cal Raleigh out at second. And I can tell you, Cano doesn't get that ground ball to get, the floodgates would have opened. The Mariners probably take over, and it ends in a 5-1, 6-1 game. But there's just this belief and mentality about this team of, oh, they just took the lead. All right, let's just cut down the runner from third, and then we're just going to get out there and we'll find a way. And there's that belief again of, we're down. Okay, they took the lead. We'll get it back. Let's just focus on getting out of this. Whereas before it felt like, oh, they fell behind. It's game.
Yeah, and another thing too, we talk about little plays that you got to make to win games, and it's still a simple concept. Baseball is so damn hard. And look, I was just playing golf recently, so I understand how hard golf is, by the way, because it's a battle with yourself. It's a battle with the elements. And whammy, that sucks. But baseball, it's one of those things where you can control certain aspects of the game, and there's a whole hell of a lot that you can't. But the message is simple. You throw the ball, you catch the ball, you hit the ball better than the other team, you're going to win. More times than not. I still love the piece that my Uncle Bill talks about since he joined MLB Network, right? That a team that has less errors than the other team has a winning percentage that's almost 630, just taking care of the baseball. You win the majority of your games. And then for the Orioles, like, this is something I don't know if you guys noticed, but can I share with you, Sam and Zach, if you will let me? Well, too bad if you don't care, Sam. But Zach, will you let me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yesterday, when Cal Raleigh got thrown out, right? It was being in the right cutoff position to make the throw, to get the out, apply the tag. That's one.
Yeah.
The play at the plate. You make the tag properly. You catch it, you field it, you catch it, you throw it, you make a tag. Those are two opportunities that could have saved more runs for the Seattle Mariners. Then we can talk about Heston. 0-2 count. Hanging breaking ball. Puts the ball in play, and the Orioles, just like that, are ahead, and you have this new sensation. Gregory Soto not giving in and having to strike out Kyle Raleigh later in the game. A little thing right there, right? Adley Rutschman. Then there's the big ball. That's the exciting part. And yeah, that's a great part of it. But how many other things did the Orioles do right to win? You're right, Zach. The losing the games 6-1, and why they lost so many other games is because those little plays, they were not making.
Yeah, and it was adding on.
And it adds up.
And it's so funny. I even played it last night. And I retweeted the clip out last night too. Buck Showalter talking about when you get a young team and you get them snowballing in the right direction, crazy things can happen. And when you watch this team now, before it was like you'd look in the dugout and it was like they were seeing ghosts. It was like everyone's like, shit, like, okay, in another hole, you look in there now. They're putting videos out of them, doing tricks, between the leg tricks during warm-ups. Everyone's laughing, smiling. The whole dugout's fired up. You have Gregory Soto and Brian Baker probably spitting on half of the field when they scream after those big strikeouts. I mean, talk about fired up. But there's this energy in this team where it's back to that, hey, we're not out of a game. Hey, we can go win. And it starts with the little things, Ryan. It's the getting it to the cutoff, knowing where to be. Jackson knowing, okay, Gunner's going to cut off there. That does not mean I'm out of the play. I got to be ready in case Cal Raleigh comes down to second and we get that's a massive out. That changes the game. If they don't get Cal Raleigh out there, that game probably looks a lot different because then you got second and third, no outs instead of third with one out. Then you get the ground ball. Suddenly it's 2 outs, men on first. I mean, it's the little things that change these games, and they're doing those things right now.
Yeah, and then you know what, Sam? You know what they're doing well is it's going hand in hand because it's complementary baseball.
Exactly.
We talked about throwing. We talked about, fielding it, catching it, hitting it. How about them throwing the baseball? The Orioles starting pitching has been very good during this win streak, Sam. Very good.
Yep, exactly.
Gives the team a chance.
It really does. And to the point about going a little bit back to energy, right? Brian Baker and Greg Soto, just like that scream, the spit, the feel, the vibe. It's so good to see a team get their vibe back. I think fundamentals of doing the little things right can bring people into the game better. When you see somebody like mess a little thing up that has lasting consequences, that can weigh on you, surprisingly, and especially in the moment. You may not think about it much when you go home, but I've certainly had a lot of experiences in team sports I've played. I'm an ultimate Frisbee guy where, something happens on the field, you do something happens that you watch and you just think to yourself, damn, like if this one thing had gone right, I probably wouldn't be in such a bad mood right now. And often when you're in the hole, the mental hole, as well as, the score hole, pulling out of that and clawing and trying to get out of that hole is such a difficult thing to do. But when fundamentals line up together, it can sometimes be easier to bounce back from, the big stuff, the flashy stuff. Like, maybe you give up a big home run and you don't want to see that, obviously. But if if you can do everything else surrounding the big stuff right well enough, then folks can rally around you. You can keep energy together, and you can keep your head in the game, and you can say, okay, big shit just went down, but stick to our game. We stay in it with our heads in this game. We can win. And that energy, I think, is really starting to get back into the dugout, back into the rotation, and just this team, the vibes are sorting back out, and things are feeling so much better to be around with the Baltimore Orioles.
For sure. And it's contagious. Losing's contagious, struggle's contagious, frustration's contagious. But when you have a glimpse of hope, that is contagious. And that's why when we talked last week about the Chicago White Sox coming to town, I don't care that the White Sox are one of the worst teams in baseball, right? You win all three, you are finding ways to win the game, and then there's a light bulb. Remember when everyone was talking about the Twins? Oh, the Orioles aren't playing well. That's what they were supposed to do. Well, guess what? That jump-started Minnesota again. And then they went and beat some really good teams in the process. Yes, they took it to the Orioles again, took them behind the woodshed one more time here back in Baltimore. But you guys get my point. It's contagious. And for the Orioles, they're trying to get back in this dance, just like when we've looked around at other teams where there can be moments here where you can pick apart what has happened, what transpired, and what helped them get to where they're trying to go. Another one that I'm going to continue to watch here when you talk about a jolt and the changing of a feel, it's going to be in Kansas City. And Jack Caglione, the top prospect for them, believe just got his first big league knock, Zach, if I'm not mistaken. Got a little double, I think, down the line. I don't think he was that quick to get it going. But I have the video here. Yeah, I believe it was a hanging curveball, roped down the right field line, past the diving first baseman, and whammy, there it is.
Yep, RBI.
There you go. But you're talking about a guy making an impact. It can be a player, or just you start to win games, and it can start to snowball here. And that's all I got to say about that. But you know what also? Oh, man, stretching. You know what else I got to say?
Yeah.
If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on YouTube and X. And if you guys aren't watching, we think you should watch the video side, because you probably, when you listen, if you just listen on Spotify and Apple, especially yesterday,
probably very
confused when Kevin was trying to do some mountain climbers during our fitness segment, by the way. We can question if those were mountain climbers. We can also then not question, but we can't confirm or deny, if you don't watch the video, if a certain Mr. Puppy, Ollie, might have been the dominant force in the studio. That's the rumor, but you're going to have to watch it to see. But if you can't, listen to it on Spotify and Apple. And we put that out later in the evening after the live shows are done. So, guys, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. And I think it's interesting, you just talked about Caglione and the impact of maybe calling up a, young sensation to try to jumpstart a team, and just the benefits that could have on maybe a struggling team that is trying to find their footing before it's too late.
Yeah, a team that maybe has lost 7 of their last 10, 4 games under 500. A team like the Baltimore Orioles was expected to be a team to contend this year. And that team, you're talking about the Boston Red Sox here. And if I can be so honest, I think everyone's wondering what Boston will do. Before we get into all of that and much more, got to shout out our sponsor, Merit Clubs, by the way. You see the logo in the corner. You see the sign behind here. meritclubs.com. They got a deal going right now in Baltimore, and their locations that if you get a gym membership right now and you show up 12 of the first 30 days, they will pay for your next month's membership for free. 12 days showing up. Heck, you want to do some cardio? That's what Rocco claims that he does. He goes to the gym and does some cardio from time to time. And then, or you can just go to the pools. I mean, hey, swipe in, go to the pool. It's pool season. Is pool season considered after Memorial Day? That's like when all pools were like really open.
That's when all pools, but I guess, I would consider that when pool season. It's usually Memorial Day to Labor Day is usually what most pools are Oh, but I always feel like there's that like 2 to 3 weeks. Like it's not consistent, but there's always that scattered, 3-4 days over the 2 weeks before Memorial Day where you're like, damn, I really wish the pool was open right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the only reason I know it's like from a standpoint, Memorial Day is like, hey, it's the kickoff of summer in the pool. Well, I don't know. It definitely feels like pool season now in June because it's hot, it's humid. And yeah, America Cubs has a few pools. We're going to go down one of those slides too. Blue and pink. I'm going to figure out which one. I got to go back and look what Cedric told us there. But check us out. We're there at americlubs.com for more information. And Brooks, and if you're really interested in a 2-day membership, I think they're still allowing us to give away at least 1-day memberships, but it gets so crowded over there because people just want to have a nice beverage, kick their feet up, and just hang by the pool. And in Canton, they got the rooftop rocking and rolling. But we're going to keep rocking and rolling, Zach, because you did a great transition, and I'm proud of you for that.
I tried.
Roman Anthony, Boston Red Sox. We talked about it yesterday. John Morosi talked about it with us, and he had his feelings about what Boston needs to do. And then Jeff Passan, he didn't hold anything back, and nor does he ever, by the way. But he went on the Section 10 podcast and gave his opinion about what Boston must do. So, Zach, can you play that clip for us right now?
Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is where the anger is coming from. You guys know it's probably going to take 85 to 87 wins to get that last playoff spot. And every day Roman Anthony's not in the big leagues, that's a day that he could have won a game for this team. Every day he hits a home run in Worcester in the 9th inning to walk it off, whatever it is. That's a day he could have been doing it with the Boston Red Sox. And if at the end of the year they fall 2 or 3 games short of the playoffs, God forbid 1 game short of it, you're just going to look back on that and say, what a wasted opportunity that was. The lack of urgency is what surprises me. Putting Christian Campbell on the opening day roster was an urgent move. Trading for Garrett Crochet was an urgent move. Signing Alex Bregman was an urgent move. Where'd the urgency go?
Can you just do the tweet right now, by chance?
Practice tweet.
Breaking, the Boston Red Sox are calling up the number 1 prospect in baseball, comma, Roman Anthony, period. Anthony, comma, 21, comma, has carved his way through the minor leagues, and Boston is relying on him to save the season.
Yeah.
It's a funny group over there, and Jeff Passan always keeps it light. And save the fucking season. That's the exact words there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not saying that a prospect coming up is always going to make that immediate impact, because in Baltimore, you saw last year when Jackson Holiday came up and all the expectations were on him. And personally, I still thought that Jackson needed a little bit more time. I understood the thought. Roman Anthony now, he got called up last year and raked in 2024 in AAA. And then all he's done this season so far is continued to rake. So he's a little bit more seasoned of a player. But sometimes it's not necessarily how the player is going to do. You're looking at your roster construction of what's happening. So when you look at teams, and we just mentioned Jackson wasn't coming up where he had to be a savior. The Orioles were already very good. They were playing winning baseball, right? The Royals with Jack Caglione, they're calling him up because they were in a little bit of a rut, and it energized them. You heard the players talking about it. That's what Jeff Passan and many others, John Morosi, are talking about, is Roman Anthony might just have that spark of making a move. Now, he might not be what you're hoping for to start, but then again, he might. Sam, we don't know. We don't know how people are going to turn out. But that's the reality of the sport. It's the reality of the game. And the other reality is the business of baseball. If the Boston Red Sox don't win, well, people's jobs are going to be on the line. And you're wondering, okay, Alex Cora, could that be something where they don't win? Could he be done? I know that the GM is not the one that usually has a little bit more saving grace, Breslow. So when time will go on, right, he'll have the usually the opportunity to change things. and right the ship. But for the Boston Red Sox, they believe they're a team that's better than 4 games under 500 as we're talking about this. And Roman Anthony, Sam, have you watched him yet?
I have not, no. But every time you mention his name, I think of the DJ and producer, and so I have to mentally separate the two from one another so that I stop getting confused every time I hear you talk about him. Never in my mind, never goes to the baseball prospect, and that's a little insight into me.
Glad we got that insight.
Yeah, just in case people were wondering.
Now, you might not watch Roman Anthony, but do you think about the Roman Empire?
I mean, if I'm like really bored, I guess. I don't find myself thinking about the Roman Empire that frequently. I know that's kind of, there's also like a big, the meme stereotype going online of like, this is my Roman Empire, right? And it's
so
folks,
the Roman Empire is not your Roman Empire?
No, it's
Roman Anthony.
Yeah, it's the Roman Anthony,
the producer.
Why not, man? You know what? Sure. Let's go with yeah. Let's do it. That's my Roman Empire right there. Having to mentally separate the prospect Roman Anthony from the producer and DJ.
So yours is all with the producer and DJ, but the Red Sox are hoping that their empire is Roman Anthony.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely what.
I mean, I guess if you want to put it that way, they're hoping that Roman Anthony is also a producer there. If you really want to
that's a good way of thinking about it.
You say take notes, Sam. Take
notes. I like that.
It's not his first day here, Sam.
Yeah. If friends ask you what you learned, write that down. Write that down.
I need a notepad.
Yeah.
But it is one of those situations where I think at this point I would kind of be shocked because I think wait out the 12 days for service time. But I think Jeff Passan makes a great point. Where did the urgency go? This was a Red Sox team that went out this offseason and made it as abundantly clear as you possibly can. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're going for this. And then they out of camp, Christian Campbell coming up. They're saying, hey, we're going to let Rafael Devers, we might piss him off a little bit, but we want the best players in the lineup. So we're going to have Bregman at third. We're going to put Devers at, DH. They were aggressive to the point where they were like, hey, it might hurt us in the short term, with Devers trying to figure things out, with, them figuring out positions wise. I mean, people think the Orioles throw guys around. The Red Sox are throwing guys around right now. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, but we don't want to call up a guy that could potentially be a turning point in the season. It's like, why? If it is the year, then okay. But we talked about, with John Morosi, the Red Sox aren't a team where it's like, oh, well, they're not going to be able to sign him to a big contract in 5 years when he hits free agency. So they're going to need that extra year. The Red Sox have the money. If they want to sign Roman Anthony to a $400 million contract in 5 years, that they can do that. Mm-hmm. I think if you are as we are going for it and as desperate as they've kind of sounded, I would do it. The only thing that honestly I would say is a good reason not to bring him up right now is if they genuinely looked in the mirror and they were like, hey, there's some drama going on in the clubhouse. Hey, it's not a great call. Everyone's a little on edge right now. We don't know if that's the time to bring up the rookie. If that's what they just don't know if the clubhouse is ready for that with, maybe then I'd understand it a little bit. But if you're going for it, you got to have him on the team.
I think you do. The urgency part was the emphasis for me. And also, this is the bigger part. If you're calling up Roman Anthony, he has to play every day. And that they're trying to look, where do you play Roman Anthony? Well, that's not, I guess, a problem we have to deal with, but that's a problem that the Red Sox are probably looking at. He has to play. And I see some comments below. When you call up a top guy, he needs to play. That's the one thing last year that when you did call up Jackson Holiday, I wish Jackson played every single day because I wanted him to know we believe in you no matter what. Jack Caglione getting called up. I guarantee you, Zach, we're probably going to see Jack Caglione in the lineup for the Royals every single day.
Give him those reps.
And the team see if they can bounce back here. But we're going to keep bouncing on with the rest of this show. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right up in here on YouTube and X. and we are on Spotify and Apple and wherever you get your podcasts if you just want to listen. But you should check out the video content for sure. Guys, how are we feeling? It's Thursday. It's Thursday.
Woo.
It's almost Friday.
Before long, it'll be Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it like that.
Yeah, if you look at it.
That's how it
It's
goes.
funny. Sam, it is pretty wild. Like Zach's mood's completely different from what it usually is on these days. He's a happy guy today.
You know,
Year
maybe I
to
just
year.
got better. You know, I think it's the Orioles are putting something together. We had some energy, even though it was a late night. It was a fun night. You know, got some energy going right now. Just one of those days.
It's what you need.
It's what you need.
Oh. Well, this isn't as we continue in our baseball conversation, but apparently, you know, for football, we know Rashod Bateman's signed, but allegedly Aaron Rodgers says he's going to sign with Pittsburgh officially.
Really?
Apparently.
Oh my God.
Apparently, I'm seeing something here that he informed, according to Mike Garofalo. Rodgers informed the Steelers he will fly to Pittsburgh on Friday and sign before next week's mini camp.
Well,
wait a minute. So wait a minute. So this isn't Will Howard's team? Mason Rudolph?
The red-nosed rifle. Really? We don't trust Rudolph? Come on.
What are we?
What you don't?
So there we go.
Why doesn't Tomlin want Rudolph? Why
Well,
why wouldn't you?
Here,
want
let's get the
Mason
instant
Rudolph?
reaction.
You kidding?
That is there we go. Yeah, where are you calling Rocco?
I still don't. I can't find this. You said it's from Mike Garofalo.
Yeah, I just see Rocco's. I don't know how I feel about this. So the Steelers, it felt like this, if they were going to get a quarterback, it was going to be Aaron Rodgers giving Rocco a call. Oh, that's nice. Well, there you go. We're going to get back into baseball news here in a minute, but obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, what's up, Rocco DeSangro? You're live on the Ryan Ripken Show. Thoughts on Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh? You are live.
I'm just finishing up jury duty. Goodbye.
Oh boy.
I think we lost service with Rocco there.
Did not know he was at jury.
Why did he answer the call?
How does he have his phone?
No, you can have your phone. Like, so when you're sitting in there at jury duty, this is one thing I've told Rocco, and I'll get to that part in a second. But when you go to jury duty, Sam, they can call you in or you can just wait. Now, you can have your phone on you, right?
Oh, okay.
So you can have that. But if you get called back and then you go through the process, yeah, then things can change.
Mm-hmm.
But this man always will pick up his phone. I guarantee you that. Even when he shouldn't pick up his phone.
He's calling me a jackass in the chat now. Okay. Not the one who picked up the phone.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
Burden of evidence.
Yeah.
That was way better than him actually getting on and explaining his feelings for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, absolutely.
Him picking up and being like, I'm at jury duty.
Leave me alone.
So there's the instant reaction. That's what you wanted. That's how most people are feeling about the situation.
I guess you could say the jury's still out.
The jury is still out on not only Rocco DeSangro, but Aaron Rodgers.
Good one.
Write that one.
Write that one. Sam,
I'm not writing that down.
hey, Sam, hey, where's your notepad?
We
I
should
didn't-
have had Sam just have a notepad and just been like, write that down.
I didn't bring the
Sam?
bag in today. Normally I have my bag and
Write
like a
that down.
laptop, but I didn't bring it in today.
Are you writing that down?
Oh, you have a pen and paper.
No,
Oh,
that's a
no, it's a
napkin.
bunch of napkins. Okay.
Sam, write
Write that down. Write that
What's it-
down.
What did you learn?
and some of these. The hook, Sam. You got to be afraid of the hooks. Well,
Exactly.
there we go. Good stuff here. I guess we're having jokes here. See, it's a lightened mood. I like this.
It's a great Thursday today.
It's a great Thursday. I'll tell you what, it was a great Wednesday yesterday when we cooked with the Iron Rooster. As we take a quick little just break from the baseball action, we're going to get back into that. But we did have a great time with the Iron Rooster. They just unveiled their 2 new menu items where Chef Ryan here, Chef Rip, in Cafe Ripken was open. And we had the shrimp and grits, the ciabatta. It's not
Yeah,
ciabatta.
no,
Now I am going to keep calling it ciabatta.
chicken ciabatta melt.
Ciabatta sounds better.
Ciabatta. It's
Ciabatta.
incredible.
Ciabatta.
Oh, good kids here. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, there it is. Going to Pittsburgh.
Yep, finally saw that.
So can't wait for still some of the ugliest games between the Ravens and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. But Rashod Bateman, though, we'll see. He's going to be around for a while. Rashod Bateman, congrats to Rashod Bateman on the contract extension.
Yeah, that was all
Really good. Good for him, man. Good for him.
And I think this is a sign of the Ravens kind of doing right by their guys. I mean, it was an interesting contract situation with Rashod Bateman and the injury, accrued year, and just kind of how they, with the 5th-year option, like not being available. So just a weird situation for them to be like, hey, we're going to give you a 2-year extension last year, or, we're going to give you your money, give you your time. And then he goes out, has a very good year, continues to take steps forward. And the Ravens, who very well could have, sort of like the Derrick Henry thing, could have very well been like, oh, no, we have you on an absolute steal of a deal right now. Mm-hmm. Like, we're just, they're like, no, we told you, you do this, we will reward you. And that's what they did. So I think it's, I think it's a win-win for both sides. This is definitely still a team-friendly deal for a wide receiver, too. For a guy who has been consistent like Bateman, obviously a great route runner, one of the best separators in football. And I think he's a guy who his chemistry with Lamar continues to grow more and more each year. So I'm excited for both sides of this. I think this is just a great deal all around.
And it's a guy that dealt with adversity, to start off the injuries. And I still remember that game against the Dolphins, that slant. He beat Xavier Howard, caught it, 10, 12 yards, and then took it the next 65 to the house for a 75-yard touchdown. That was dynamite, and he's a dynamic player. And last year, he was a big-time player. He was catching first downs and catching touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens, and he will be continued to be a big weapon for the Baltimore Ravens moving in to 2025. One thing I wanted to close out on the Aaron Rodgers situation, are you guys aware of now the week 1 matchup? Between it's the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New York Jets at New York.
God.
That's Justin Fields versus Aaron Rodgers.
Couldn't have been any more perfect.
I know we talk about, and it's a joke about a script, but these moments just feel a little scripted.
Aaron Rodgers is he's able to see the future. He's so hopped up. He's so hopped up on whatever he's on that he's just he just projects his mind forward.
What does let's have a conversation about this. Does this change the steel?
No.
I think this takes them from, with Mason Rudolph, I was expecting them to win 5-6 games. I think this takes them up to that 9. They can be the 9
glorious 9 wins.
I think this, but I'm trying to think if they had still had George Pickens, I think I would be much more with that defense plus Aaron Rodgers with Pickens and Metcalf. I think maybe I would be looking at it. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to sound like a hater. I mean, obviously you have Pat Freiermuth, the toughest tight end in football. Fan of the show.
That's a big fan of the show. Big fan of Nick Moore.
Big fan of Nick Moore. Best friend of the show, Nick Moore. Pat Freiermuth. I'm interested to see. I think this is going to be very intriguing because I feel like Aaron Rodgers showed those blips last year. If you're like, oh, he's still that guy's still in there.
Yeah.
A year off of the injury now. I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually a bigger deal than maybe we're thinking.
Well, in Pittsburgh, every time you think they're going to be awful, man, this is the year they're going to fully fly off and be terrible. Last year, you're like, oh, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, they still made the playoffs. Now, the Ravens, again, took it to them at the bank. But here they were where they were fighting and competing. I think that they'd be a little bit more of a dangerous offense with George Pickens and DK Metcalf. Just saying. But apparently, they're looking to get the 2 tight ends back rolling except for fantasy purposes, if Jonnu Smith gets traded to the Steelers, I'm out. I'm out if we do that, because why would we do that?
Jonnu Smith is the breaking point.
It would be. He's a good fit in Miami. Leave him there, just like in Baltimore. Rashod Bateman is a great fit for that offense. But football, it's still 3 months away here from really opening weekend and
3
kickoff.
months too far.
So we are still going to stay in our baseball conversations. But hey, Aaron Rodgers, welcome to the AFC North. Rodgers.
Now,
Can't wait for
get out
that
as
one.
soon as you can.
Can't wait. AFC North football. Nothing like it, baby. Nothing like it.
Also, real fast, just while we're on football,
Yeah.
I think it's hysterical, I guess. Chuck Pagano in his interview press conference today said that this isn't McAfee, so I've got to watch my language now. So love. It is so funny with guys like that, where we obviously, because he was the Ravens defensive coordinator, in the like glory mid 2010s or early 2010s, I still see him as like, oh, the great, defensive coordinator, all this, obviously someone as a head coach. But there are people out there who know Chuck Pagano is solely one of the co-hosts on the Pat McAfee show. And I think that's it is funny when those guys leave coaching for a bit and go to media and then come. Like, I think it was so funny. Everyone's like, when Jim Irsay hired Jeff Saturday, and they're like, he's just hiring an analyst. It's like, okay, Jeff Saturday, one of the greatest centers of all time. Like, let's, this wasn't just like he went and hired his best friend off the streets.
For sure.
I just think it's so funny. Like, and even now, when I think of Jeff Saturday, like, it's the analyst, not the center.
Not the center. Or you might think he's
Did you even
the football
know
coach.
Chuck Pagano as the football coach?
Oh, no, not Pagano. I was thinking, my mind was there about Saturday. I had totally forgotten that entire.
You were thinking
shtick
about
of
Roman
that.
Anthony again.
Yeah.
Weren't you?
Why not? Let's go. Let's keep it going with the positivity and go with yes.
I like it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good kids. Man, I love talking shop. I love Chuck Pagano, by the way. I'm glad he's back with the Baltimore Ravens, by the way. He is a phenomenal coach. Loved him on the McAfee show. It is going to be interesting on the media side. If people are wondering, they said, oh, Ryan, do you ever want to get involved into your coaching career and try to move up the chain from minors to professionals? The answer is hell no now.
You're not the next manager?
Yeah. Well, no. Matt Holliday is not the next hitting coach of the Baltimore Orioles.
Ryan Ripken named the manager of the Baltimore Orioles opening statement. The O's are fine.
Every single time.
The O's are fine.
Ryan, how's it feel? Post game interviews
Marshawn
right there.
Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined. The O's are fine. The O's are fine.
Post game interview for B. I think each show that could be this. This could be this post game interview. So Ryan, Birds lost 19-0. Well, we did a couple of things right. A lot of things wrong. But we're fine. The O's are fine. We'll get it going.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll get it going. Ryan, it happened again. The team has been outscored 38-0.
What?
Oh, it's fine.
Just a tough 2 days.
You know what happened? I would have, some of my antics that I'd have in the locker room. I would have definitely set a different precedent if things were to happen. Dave Tremblay, it was funny when he talked about his situation of making the team take batting practice on Sunday. And also the pitcher that they were facing was Josh Beckett. Just a little fun little tidbit there playing the Red Sox. And also Dave Tremblay, yes, was involved in that 30-3 game, which that anniversary will be coming up in August, in case you are wondering. But we did mention that some people have actually really wanted to know if a certain former 7-time All-Star would be a hitting coach moving forward. That is Matt Holliday, Zach. Sam, Matt Holliday is a beast.
Absolutely.
A beast. He's also a great guy and a very intellectual thinker when it comes to the game of baseball. So I just thought it was a really good conversation that we had with him in talking about the Baltimore Orioles right now and just the teams and players around the game. I want to play this clip for you guys from Matt Holliday about what his hitting approach was that made him successful for the 15 years he had in the show. So I'm going to play for that clip for you guys right now. From what your game plan was going into a game, or as far as how you wanted to prepare, and then what your mindset was when you were in the batter's box.
Yeah, I mean, I think my strength was always right center. Like, I hit the ball the other way really well. I stayed on breaking balls really well. Middle of the field, I'd like to be – my thing was I need to be on time to drive the ball. And like, even now, like a simple aggressive thought of I'm going to hit this ball off the batter's eye. Like, I'm going to smash this ball off the pitcher's face. Like, something simple and aggressive that got my direction in the middle of the field was when I was my best. My timing was always fastball, be ready for his best fastball in the middle of the field. And then if I'm ready and on time for that, then I can adjust with good direction. So if my timing is ready for the fastball to drive it in the middle of the field, then that will allow me a good direction. That if it's an off-speed pitch, I still have the ability to keep the bat moving in the right direction to still hit the off-speed pitch correctly. I would watch a little bit of video of the guy's most recent start and how he pitched right-handers in his most recent start and how hard was he throwing, what's his go-to out pitch, just some general data for me, because I got a little overwhelmed with all of, even then, the information. They have so much more now, but even then, like, I didn't want to give him too much credit, like, in my mind. Like, I wanted to think about the horrible pitches he's made. I wanted to watch the video of him getting lit up or the good at-bats I had off of him.
Right.
Like, that was what I wanted to focus on, because that's what helped me. I didn't want all the data of this percentage here and this percentage there. I mean, why would I go away from what I'm good at to, like, try to guess that he might do this? So I had to keep it really simple, and that might be just more me personally, but
I don't think it's just you. Everyone that I talked to, well, I shouldn't say everyone. Let me take that back. A lot of hitters that had success, they tried to simplify their thoughts. And if you overload it and you're not capable of that, then you're doing yourself a disservice. That's the whole part of baseball, right? My dad liked to guess pitches. And he faced a guy, he'd make calculated risks. But if someone hung a pitch and he's in a good position, then great. He'll make them pay. And I just always like to hear that. So, there it is. So Matt Holliday, the things I took away from that, and you hear a lot of hitters talk about where they're thinking they're trying to drive the baseball. So Matt Holliday, he wanted to use the big part of the field, right center gap. But then when he's in the batter's box, he wants to try to think about hitting that ball right back up the middle. And he said, trying to hit the pitcher's face, hit the batter's eye. Why? The thought sets up what you're trying to do. Because then you hang a breaking ball, you're going to be out in front more, you can pull it down the line. You are a little bit behind, you're late, you can drive a ball to right center, whatever it may be if you're a right-handed hitter. And Matt Holliday was one of the best that did it when he played. Hit 299 hitter, career hitter. So he hit for average, he obviously hit for power, and had so many big moments. His 2007 season was ridiculous. Some would call it ludicrous, truly. And Matt Holliday, when you're hearing him talk, I understand why people would want him to be a hitting coach. Like, I do, just because he is so knowledgeable. He's not going to, by the way, so let's just pump the brakes there. He's not going to do that. But the knowledge and hearing him talk about it, and Zach, you've heard a lot of the interviews that we've done, that it's the good hitters have a simple approach when it comes to the game of baseball.
And I think this is where it becomes almost frustrating as someone on the outside when you feel like the Orioles recently have been so analytically driven and so, hey, we're going off of what the analytics are saying, of what, the numbers are saying, the metrics, all this. And then all the great players we've talked to, Craig Biggio, Matt Holliday, throughout their interviews, Mark Teixeira, very much like, no, it's keep it simple. I can't have a million things going through my mind. I can't be thinking, oh, with 2 strikes, 53% of the time he's throwing a curveball here, but then, 15% of the time he's throwing a fastball here. So I have to look there, but then be ready for that. It's go out and it's still see ball, hit ball. It's protect the strike zone. It's the simple things. And when you have a million things going through your mind, especially when you're struggling, I loved what Matt Holliday said about. I didn't want to see all the bad. I didn't want to see, this is him dominating. I wanted to go up there with confidence. I wanted to see him giving up home runs. I wanted to see, here's where I took him oppo. Here's where I, went down the line with him. Here's why I got this double, this go-ahead single. He won. It's the confidence thing. It's keep it simple. Okay, here's his put-out pitch. Okay, here's what he likes to do. Here's how hard he's throwing. I'm good. Let's go. Here's how he's pitched me before. Let's go play. It doesn't. I think sometimes it's the analytic overload can put too much on a player. And the more you're thinking about when you're hitting, the harder it gets. And it's hard enough.
Baseball is extremely hard. It's challenging. That's why when you go up there, you fail 7 out of 10 times. You're one of the best players to ever play. And Matt Holliday failed 71% of the time for his career average. And for the Baltimore Orioles, they are overall their best hitters use the big parts of the field. But let's go past Baltimore. I feel like I'm just beating a drum over and over again here. Just bam, bam, bam. Whoa.
Great.
Really?
Yes.
Way to go, Sam.
Way to go, Sam.
I didn't do anything.
That's what you think. But
And it's what I know.
Freddie Freeman, all parts of the field. Mookie Betts, all parts of the field. Corbin Carroll, the little dude out there, uses all parts of the field. Seeing Pete Crow Armstrong, man, he's doing so many great things. And yes, you can be a pool guy, but the best hitters average-wise, go and look at what they're doing. They're using the big field, and then they're reacting to pitches in. With Heston Kjerstad being a topic of discussion, Heston, I know with his leg kick and the timing's been a little bit off and his confidence is down. I think, when you don't have confidence, it's hard to hit. It's really hard to hit. But he likes to use the big part of the field. He even said it last night. He goes, I'm my best when I'm hitting the ball to left center, and I feel like I can react in. And that double down the line was a slider that went in, and he reacted and kept it fair. And he's been swinging the bat pretty well over the last 3 to 4 games for the Orioles, so it's encouraging signs for him. But probably the most, encouraging this whole situation, if you're talking about players, at least with Baltimore, how about Mr. Adley Rutschman, Zach?
Yeah.
Mr. Adley Rutschman. A guy that he's been going through it for the last year. Ever since really this time last year, it started to kind of be a slow decline from his offensive production. And I don't know, maybe it's just because he likes playing out west. He is a Pacific Northwest guy, but 3 hits in the first game against Seattle, the big home run in game 2. You know what I loved? Hit a home run on a fastball. That's something he's really struggled with on the heater. And there's so many different reasons that could be. Zach, can we pull up that side by side with Adley?
Yeah.
So some things can be mechanical, but other things can be an approach, and some can be a little bit of both. So go ahead. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah. So this is shout out Brendan Mortensen of Masson for putting this together. So here, obviously, we see on May 21st, 2025 versus, what would that be? April 19th, 2024. So we're looking at the toe tap here, just kind of the difference in swing. And as we get there, you can see the difference, obviously, with the slight toe tap on the left. And it just feels like he's much more fluid in 24. And I think that's the biggest thing is, he feels like his swing is all one. He doesn't have a little hitch. It's no longer that. So then we go to, I think most importantly, let's go to last night and the home run. We see?
Yep.
And no toe tap, fastball. Adios, pelota.
I honestly think it's just he had to get used to the aerodynamics of the goatee. That's
It's all about the goatee.
That's my thoughts. Because in the 2024 one, clean shave. 2025 one, he's got some stuff on there, and I think now he's
slowing him down.
He's finally understands the mechanics of the goatee, and now he might be back. He just might be back.
Hey, it's goatee season, Sam. It really might be. But one thing I want to even explain, because I see you're talking about why does a toe tap work for some hitters and a leg kick work better for others? This is the beauty of baseball, and this is why you can't cookie cutter hitters, because it's the feel of what works. You know, Jackson Holliday, for the longest time, his was the most dramatic change, where he was a leg kick guy all the way until this year, really until the end of last year for what, a few games he changed it. Then this year he committed to the toe tap. It's really what feels comfortable for the player, and you can go through different times. You know, so for Adley, for this side by side that I want to pull back up. So when I'm seeing this, the ultimate goal is you want to have the bat feel like it's going through all at once. And right now in that first one, the toe tap was throwing off his rhythm. Because when you have to go back, the name of the game for hitting is you got to go back to go forward and have that kind of weight shift, right? So if I stand up for a second, you want me to stand up for a second?
Yeah, stand up.
Stand up for a second. Myself off screen. Now we're back. Guess who's back? Back again. Ryan's back. Tell a friend. But so if you think about it this way, every hitter, when you're trying to get power, or you're trying to get into your swing, if you have some sort of movement and you need to go back, how does this, where the bat is, where your hands are, how does this get to what I like to call its firing position? So when you're going back and you're about to go forward, your bat is in the spot when you're going to go to swing. It's going to go from here to the ball, right? Here to the ball. Not as you're going forward, your hand has to get to a different spot because it's not in the spot it needs to fire from, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So if we're going to pull that clip back up of Adley, here I got it. So when you're watching the one on the left, okay? Let's watch the one on the left. So he's trying to toe tap, and he's trying to get to his position, but he's going forward, and his hands are not where they are feeling comfortable to be. It's and it's a split second. It's not even so much, but it does make a difference.
It makes a massive difference. That's the difference. I mean, hell, in some, it's the difference between, okay, a line drive up, the center to center field and getting jammed. And, it can be the difference in a home run and popping up and, weak grounder. It is that slight difference. And you can just see slightly the hands dragging back just a little more. It feels just slightly less connected. And it is those little things, because to the naked eye, it's like, you're just 2 milliseconds later. In baseball, 2 milliseconds is the difference between a home run and you're sitting back in the dugout after missing.
Exactly. And this is, so here where I have it paused right here. Okay. That looks pretty similar where Adley, I would say, wants to be his hands, like for the most part. The one on the left, maybe a hair lower, like if I'm really trying to cut it down so much. But watch the next sequence here. Adley's hands are staying right there. See that extra movement on the left side now?
Yeah.
And you can even see that, for me, I can definitely see a difference. His hands in that right side right there are ready to fire. Mm-hmm. This is trying to go back, and then it's trying to go.
This is the biggest difference right here. This is the perfect screenshot right here, because you see just how much where his hands are. He is now almost completely, everything is connected and going smoothly. And in the other, he's firing his hips, but you can just tell even then that he's got to bring the hands back separately.
Well, and like how I like to describe it is that's how you can be a tad long. And what did it feel like for Adley? He was missing fastballs, whether he was swinging and missing or he was fouling them down the line or weak contact. And you're going, damn, like, what's going on? Why are you off? There's the example. His firing position of where he needed to be, in my opinion, he wasn't getting to it. So what you can do is you can say, hey, I'm going to work with this mechanics, or you're going to change up your timing that allows your body to naturally get to the spot that's comfortable. And then it goes all in one motion. That's also why some guys like to fully widen out. Like Stan likes to be almost close, or not almost. He is closed off, and he's super wide, and he just tries to rock his hands, and then whammy, he lets it go. Judge has that little bit of the turn in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your preference, but the goal is when your foot is coming down and your weight shift's going back to forward, are your hands in the spot you want them to be? And it's clear to me that Adley's hands in the last few games are in a much better spot. And what was the home run last night? And I know it was only 92 to 93. It's a sinker. It was a fastball, and he pulled it to right center. That's a great sign, but there's that last one right there. And I'll do it one more time in slow-mo, okay? So he's almost in that spot, But right there is that extra movement, trying to go a little bit further on the left side. And you can even see it. Bat's already starting to start here because he's in that firing spot. He's not reaching for it. While this one, when you got to reach a little bit longer and then go, your bat gets a little bit longer, and you can even see then by the final swing. Way different. It's not a talent issue with Adley Rutschman. I just want to reiterate that point over and over and over again. It's not talent for Adley Rutschman. Look at that. He knows how to hit. And it doesn't take much to get going. And I'm glad to see this, but that's the example, and I hope that answers the question. And I hope for anyone that's wondering out there, that's at least what I see. But don't give up on Adley. Just like don't give up on Heston. I know they're going to have their moments, but Adley Rutschman is a really damn good player. And I hope he gets going, because the reality is, too, when Adley plays well, usually the Baltimore Orioles play well. And you know what I also know, Zach?
Yeah.
That if you're new to the channel, you should hit that like and subscribe button, because the Ryan Ripken Show, we do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on YouTube and X. And we like to have fun with this. We like to talk ball, football, baseball. It's baseball season right now, but we will talk football. We're cooking. We're going to talk more lifestyle, people helping people in the community. We're having fitness segments on top of it, which intern Sam's never done a fitness segment here, which I don't know what we're going to have to do here. I don't know.
Also, a little bit real fast, just kind of developing storyline of just unfortunate things that you hate to see. Obviously, the Atlanta Braves having a tough go of it right now.
Yeah, that was really something to see.
Up 9-3, so it's okay. Chipper Jones, today is a good day. 9-3, good guys.
Woof.
Yeah, they gave up 7 in the 9th and lost the game.
Oh.
So maybe let's wait until we, wait till all 27 outs are done until you put the tweet. But that's
the true definition ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, man.
Really see it.
Also, by the way, Adley Rutschman base hit to start off his afternoon as they try to get a series sweep of the Seattle Mariners going against Brian Woo out there. Oh, we're having
Brian Woo.
Brian Woo.
That's a cool picture right there.
Yeah,
That's a fun guy.
that's a fun guy. You know who's also a fun guy?
Who else is a fun guy?
Roman Anthony. Roman Anthony. Sam, your time's almost up here, man.
I've got I want to say I think I can probably stretch this for another 10 minutes or so. I think.
Wow,
And
you're going to
then-
give us 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yep, 10 more minutes with me around.
We're so lucky.
You are.
We're so lucky here. Do we continue on with the last 10 minutes? How do we want to do the last 10 minutes with Sam then?
Sam, what would you like to do for your last 10 minutes?
What do we want to do for the last 10 minutes?
Of your time. We keep going.
Yeah,
the
you
show goes on.
guys.
I was like,
keep it
our
going.
the show continues. But
Mhm.
You just quit.
There's definitely a few folks who want to see me do a fitness section. I know that's true.
Well-
There have been talks about push-ups.
But can you do it? It's two things. It's like one,
We
like
can
people
make
want
college.
people want to see it, but the other part is like, can you physically do it? So that's like where
We can make
see what I
Kevin
mean?
do it and no one cares. But if we do make the intern do it and he can't, then it's just on
then
us.
yeah, then you
and
guys
then
just look
and
like
then I got to talk
assholes.
to corporate
Yeah.
and
Then we have
it's
to call
just
HR, who's
Mhm.
just Kevin, so that doesn't get anything accomplished.
absolutely nothing. They're the same person.
Yeah.
It's tough. Then I'm gonna have to contact talk to your school. What happened? I made him do a push-up. I thought they do push-ups over there.
And he folded.
Folded like a lawn chair.
Yep. I did see early on in the show. Let me bring the comment up here. I saw this one, and I was impressed that someone recognized the Kiesel hat.
Ooh.
And I loved that stack that you recognized the Kiesel hat. I don't know if he's still in the stream right now, but if we want to take a brief look at the playlist so that you guys can get an idea of what I've got on that list, because I play a lot of instruments and I'm going to school for music, University of Maryland, go Terps. So
Ooh, this hasn't been brought up once.
Yeah, well, it hasn't really come up until now. So, and it's perfect that on my last day somebody brought up the Kiesel hat so that I can briefly talk over music. Let me see if the camera will focus in on my Spotify playlist here. It's definitely, let me, if I bring it back. So I love Daft Punk. Listen to a lot of Daft Punk. That's almost every album that they have right there. The way that I sort my playlists in a very certain way. So it's chronologically based on the artists that I add. So like if I add an artist on day 1 and then I add an artist on day 2, day 1's discography is always going to get prioritized in front of the second one. So Daft Punk was the first thing I ever put on my playlist, and I got a hell of a lot of stuff by them. I listen to a lot of Gorillaz. I've got do you guys know MF Doom? I feel like you probably do, Zach. You don't?
No.
Really? What about you, Ray?
No.
Never. What kind of stuff do you listen to?
I listen to almost everything, except I do get sometimes terrified of some heavy metal. Like
Okay.
I do like Metallica, and I like, let the bodies hit the floor when you're trying to get a good pump in and stuff like that. But I'm a big house, rap, country, pop, female pop. Big female.
Rip loves a good female.
If you're
Big female pop guy.
If you're a big house guy, then you'd love Daft Punk. Because
Kevin, Sam, Sam.
Little did I know.
I love Daft Punk.
You
love
do?
Daft Punk.
Hell yes. That's my favorite artist of all time right there.
I danced on a table to One More Time like 3 months ago. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
So maybe you got to share the playlist.
Maybe I do. Let me. I don't have the login for the StreamYards, but I can like send the playlist to you, Ryan, and then you can put it in here.
We'll put out
so that you guys can all
if you want Intern Sam's playlist.
Yeah.
It'll be in the comments.
Yep,
Boom.
just in case. But this is the way that we're gonna celebrate my last day.
Yeah.
I think this is a good way of doing this. So thank you to the person who mentioned the Kiesel hat earlier in the stream.
Stackhouse.
Thank you so much.
He's a good kid. Stackhouse is a good kid. Really good. And we're excited for you, Sam. It's going to be a great adventure for you down in College Park.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never going to see us again. And then he's going to like walk into an Iron Rooster one time because they have one down there.
God, you guys are still you guys are around?
Yeah, we're down. Well, dude, buddy, that's our territory still. Any Iron Rooster is our territory. So if I see you in there and you're doing something wrong,
yeah, you're on our turf.
I'm getting called out.
Yeah,
it could be bad.
You're damn right. Laura wants Intern Sam's playlist. So
I just sent it to Ryan. So you guys can pick apart my music taste. I follow my granddad's rule is that I'll listen to anything at least once, and then if I don't like it, then I won't listen to it again after that. But I will give it one try at the very least. Do I play the drums? No, I play bass, and I dabble with guitar because I know bass, so I know at least a little bit of guitar.
Do you slap with the bass?
Actually, when I was trying to learn, my band director, he's a multi-instrumentalist. He's a trumpet player first, but he does a lot of bass stuff and guitar stuff. And I at the time I hadn't started playing yet. I was in 8th grade, and I asked him like, so do you know how to slap bass? And he's like, yeah, of course I do. And I'm like, whoa, really? That blew my mind at the time. I had no idea that it was like that it'd such a standard of playing the instrument, and it would become a standard technique, not in the sense that like everybody does it all the time, but that it's a really common and fun way of playing the bass.
Slap of the bass.
Mm-hmm. So it was one of the first things that I like really learned to do on bass was slap, because I started learning for the first year just by like learning tunes and like playing tunes without really worrying about if my technique was good.
Yeah, just slapping it no matter the technique.
Pretty much, yeah.
I just got to slap it.
Yeah, just futzing around on it. And then I finally, in sophomore year, I got a teacher, and he like the first lesson, he was like, okay, I need to sort you out. And he did. He worked a miracle on me, and now I can actually play the damn thing well enough that I passed a couple of auditions. I got turned down for a lot of auditions though from some other schools.
Down.
But
yeah,
we already started clapping.
College Park said yes.
We already started clapping.
And they gave me a lot of money. So
There we go.
Oh, making money.
Worked out just fine.
Slap at the base, man. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Just what I needed.
Big time.
All right. Well, it's looking like my time is about up with y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you all for having me, intern Sam, Timu Kevin, as I've been lovingly referred to as by a couple of folks, which I have mixed feelings about. But if you guys like it, then we'll keep rolling with it.
Well, hey, Sam, we appreciate it. Our audience appreciates it. You're moving on, but maybe we'll see you around. Who knows?
I'll definitely be around. Don't worry about a thing. I'm only an hour away when August rolls around, and so I'm going to be visiting home probably more than I would like to.
Yeah, get to know the Baltimore Washington Parkway while you're at it.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you a thing or two there.
Well, the other thing is that
take you on a ride along.
My dad works at College Park, so
hey now.
Yeah, so so he's not going to bother me. I know my dad's not like that, and he probably just wants to do his job while he's at College Park and then go the hell home.
Yeah.
You want to go home at the end of the workday, so I'm not worried about that at all. But I won't ever be too far, and I'll definitely be around.
All right, Sam. Well, hey, man, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank y'all, all the fans of the Ryan Ripken Show.
Intern Sam signing off. Oh, Ollie, I know. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Yep. He's leaving. You couldn't tackle him. Just the other one that looks kind of like him.
I thought you was talking about Rip.
Yeah, obviously not.
He was talking about Ollie.
Sentimental. Yeah, it's not because of me. There's Mr. Puppy.
We've had some short people in this thing. I got to adjust the camera.
It's very different back there.
Very different.
But we got some good kids. We have some good kids. Sam, appreciate you, man. We will see you soon. We'll see you when we see you, but I'll text you. We'll check in. Don't go chasing waterfalls, okay? Be careful. We will do that. We might not do that.
Don't let the door hit you.
Yeah. Good kid.
Definitely my favorite intern we've had. That Kevin kid grew on me. But.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that other kid that we had, that Italian.
Italian who just apparently is
also
dealing with the legal system.
Height challenge. Yes. Yeah.
Apparently dealing with the legal system right now.
Yes. See it. Oh, there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get the buttons down real fast. We're back.
We're back. All right. Before we get into I got to do a little Charlie Morton breakdown here. Before we do that, we need to make a quick trip. We got to pick up some energy again because it's Thursday. And you know why we're picking up some energy as well? Because Zach needs it. Why? Zach is on a cold streak. And I mean, as cold as the ice you skate on. That's why we got to take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. And people can't believe it. People can't believe that Zach Bollinger has led them astray for 8 consecutive times. And the rumors are starting to swirl. The papers, the headlines. Has Bolly lost it? Is this the end? Will he ever see a victory anytime soon? Or will he just have to retire because the funds have dried up? All of that and a lot more. But Bolly, you have a different mindset.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
put my thinking cap on. And I'm ready to win. We're ready to get back in the win column. You know, the best opportunity about going 0 for 8 is the opportunity to go 1 for 9. So here we are. We got The Soto shuffle is back. Vibes are back in New York. Juan Soto, 2+ hits, runs, RBIs. We're going back to the well. Fade me if you want. That might be a good idea. But here we are. Yeah. No, honestly, yeah. If you want winners, I would go completely against what I'm saying. Although with the thinking cap on today, maybe that changes.
Who did you jinx last night?
Ryan O'Hearn lost his on-base streak, 19 games. That's
and
tough.
we even clipped it.
Yeah,
we even talked about it yesterday. Luckily, you didn't
They
bring
still
down
got
the
the win.
Orioles.
And it's so funny because I said I was going to take Orioles money line just to get a win and hope, but so good thing. You know what, everyone, you're welcome.
Rowdy Tellez, his ball would have been a dinger. Would have been a home
it
run.
would have been. That thing would have been 15 rows deep. It would have been out of here. So,
or Adams misses the ball, gets away. Mariners win, but they didn't. And here you are.
Yeah, and here we are, back at it.
You're just trying to get your swagger back, just like Juan Soto. The Selly is back.
Get the Soto shuffle going, and now we're back.
Yeah. Also, for those that are wondering, that is the hat I got from Colorado. My sister was out there. Go Buffs, baby.
Let's go Buffs.
Go Buffs. But hey, if you are feeling inclined to follow Zach, or you want to just absolutely fade him, but you want to put that bet in because one of you guys then will win, and odds are in your favor then if it's not Zach. But ESPN Bet, official sports book of ESPN and Hollywood Casino. New player bonus. You bet 10, you get 100 in bonus bets. And on top of that, if you like ESPN Plus, well, guess what? You get it for 30 days for free. It's on them. But if you download the app, ESPN Bet, you must be 21 or older. And if you have a gambling problem, make sure you call 1-800-GAMBLER or our friend, Rocco DeSangro. So we're hoping, Zach, I'm hoping for your case and your sake and your.
Losing streak means the Orioles continue the winning streak. Then so be it. You know, once again, I've taken on the losing from the Orioles so that to allow them to win. So maybe I should be applauded if we really think about it at the end of the day. So
is that how you want to be considered?
Yeah, just food for thought, some sort of martyr,
Somebody has to do it.
Someone has to do it. Somebody has to do it.
Not everyone can be the hero here, but you know what? It's a good time now to get into this breakdown. And we're doing this breakdown because talk about a guy that, like they say in The Dark Knight, right? You live long enough to see yourself become the villain, or you die a hero. Well, a lot of people think that Charlie Morton, in this case, was becoming the villain in Baltimore, right? Not my best segue, but it was okay. But in all honesty, people did think of Charlie Morton as this awful presence. He's washed. He's too old. And a lot of people really gave up on him. Why was he still on this team? And I remember a lot of times here, Zach, I kept reminding people that I was seeing something with him. And hearing that press conference after the game where he was so raw and organic, talking about really all of it, how frustrated he was, and that he believes his stuff is still good. That's why it's bothering him so much. So Charlie Morton's pitching tomorrow. So plan is we want to break this down before Charlie starts because Charlie's been on quite a run here the last couple starts, but this is the Chicago White Sox start. So I want to break this down for you guys. So if you like these breakdowns as well, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But Zach, first things first, it always starts with first pitch strikes, right? Always. I don't know what just happened there. Is it moving slow to you?
Yeah, moving a little slow.
There we go. Let's try it again. Boom. So Charlie Morton, in general, he throws a lot of curveballs. And I know this is a little bit brighter, but up here, it's going to say he throws 42 curveballs in that game. He threw 100 pitches, right? So 42 curveballs, 23 four-seam. This is 16 sinkers, right? And then 8 cutters. So typically he wants to try to throw his fastball just around 50%, and that curveball is such a big part of his game, but it wasn't for the last X amount of starts previously for the month of April because he didn't have a feel for it. But my big thing which I want to address, Charlie Morton still needed to pitch off his fastball last time I did a breakdown on him, and then the rest can follow. And Charlie Morton, you're going to see here moving forward that his fastball command is tremendously better, and then the curveball and his other off-speed pitches continue to be more effective. And then we talked about confidence is a real thing, and you make a mechanical change, and then it starts to work. Well, let's show you what I mean by all that and more. So right here early on, I love that Charlie is just going after the hitters, right? So I'll play it again so in case you guys missed it. So cutter right there, great. Strike. Over the heart of the plate, good. Next pitch as well. Fastball in, and this is the thing. This was in the first inning, right? So you saw that cutter go away. Fastball ran up, and you know what? That's all right. It was kind of a fluky, hey, you know what? Guy got a hit out of it. Right place, right time, right? But for Charlie Morton, that's a good sign. Fastball location, he wasn't leaving it over the heart of the plate. His fastball is very good. So as we're going to watch here, though, when your fastball is good and you can throw it around the plate, well, then some of your other pitches can be better. So like this, we haven't seen Charlie throw a lot of good changeups or really throw enough to lefties. I think you need to throw more changeups to lefties than to righties, just that it plays off better as far as the tunneling and the look of it. But then look at Charlie here. The control has been his issue. And look at that. It's dotted. Dotted. But now when you can throw a fastball for a strike, it makes your other pitches look better. It allows those other pitches to have more of an effect. So let's continue on here. You're going to watch, moving forward, next pitch. You're going to see Charlie after throwing that changeup. What happens now that you've put that thought in the hitter's mind? You're going to throw a fastball. That's big fastball control. And because now you have the batter has to respect that you can throw your other pitches for strikes again, then whammy, it's going to work out. All right, so here's another example. And we talked about in cases for Charlie of trying to find those other variations, right? So here's a cutter that you just saw. Good. Really like that pitch. But you know what I love? Is that curveball, because that is his pitch. That's what he likes to throw. But what you're seeing right now, and I have later on this breakdown why I am talking about being able to throw your pitches for strikes. And yes, we can get into that. He said he found something mechanically here in just a moment. But imagine right now that this cutter that you just threw. So let me back it up. It's cutter that you just threw. All right. Good location. Awesome. But now he's throwing his fastball, four-seam, sinker for a strike, his changeup for a strike, and his cutter for a strike. And now all of a sudden, the hitter's got to think about all those pitches, and out of the hand, it has a similar feeling, at least to his cutter, right? So there's that little bit of a loop. It's going across. You guys can see it. So there's that loop. And then now you can freeze hitters more because this one's going to have even a little bit more of that little raise, right? But that plays off of it. It allows the pitcher to get back in control, and that's what Charlie Morton was doing against the Chicago White Sox, and he did it against the Cardinals as well. But this was the recency I wanted to show you guys the last breakdown specifically, breaking down his last outing. So as you move forward into all of this, the curveball is such a good pitch for him. I love it. And you're seeing then it's keeping the hitters off balance. And Charlie was great against the White Sox. I'd say that was his best start by far. And this is what I meant by control, right? So you heard me say it. I just showed you the pitches. When you can control your stuff, you're going to have success, right? So Zach, right here, I want you guys to focus on walks. Okay? So Charlie Morton, when he got to the month of May, you're going to look up there, didn't have more than 2 walks in an outing, right? And it's not a coincidence to me where he didn't have all of the best stuff for himself. He didn't have all of his pitches working, like that curveball he couldn't land, couldn't really throw that changeup, and that cutter was erratic. But he still had a 3.98 ERA because it got better. This one down here was a 9.26. But if you look at these numbers closely, 5 walks, 4 walks, 3 walks, 5 walks, you got no shot to have success consistently when you do that. So Charlie Morton, fastball control was there, then the other pitches, then watch his dominance of what he did against the White Sox here just last week as the Orioles then continued their wins. Whammy. So fastball, and it's really good. Fastball, they're popping up. And this is what Charlie is referring to. Guys aren't hitting his fastball well. And when you can throw that fastball for a strike, makes everything else seem so much better. And he threw some phenomenal curveballs here against the White Sox. This is another one we're going to see moving forward in a second. Good location. Good morning. Good afternoon. And if I'm not mistaken right here, that's just not fair. So imagine this right now, that he's able to lay on these pitches. So he threw a curveball here. He's going, man, I'm not really seeing this pitch very well. What could he do? He's got so many pitches he's throwing for a strike. So why don't I just throw this perfectly dotted fastball right on the corner? And I got to shout out Maverick Hanley, by the way. He's behind the dish here. Zach, I love how Mav calls a game. I really do.
And how he receives during the whole game. Jim Palmer talks about, how his target, just the way you can trust him back there. And it's massive for pitchers.
It's great. I love the one leg thing too, because it's kind of a reminder, hey, we're trying to get that low strike. And you can find it's a good, comfortable position. A lot of great catchers have done that over time. But when you see all that and you're seeing him work the plate away here, this is what isn't fair. So, goodness gracious. I got to share that again. That's not good for kids. So the fastball right here, it's going to end up going this way, right? So fastball's that way. Good take. All right, not my pitch. But then watch how much this curveball is going to move. So out of the hand, I know the pitch profiles are different, but the fact that it is starting right here and it's going to end up all the way over there is disgusting. It's phenomenal. And this is what the Orioles were hoping to get when they paid 1 year, $15 million. His curveball is disgusting. It's his best pitch. It truly is. But when you're not able to throw your fastball well or your changeup or any of your other pitches, it can't be as impactful. Curveball was spectacular in this game. And confidence is a real thing too. You do that, I think that is one of his best things that he's done. If you guys remember the last breakdown, I don't know who's watched it, but if you did, I talked about setting a batter up. So when you set up a guy just to look like a fool on a curveball in, and he thinks that you're going to throw that pitch again, well, great. Let's extend to the other side. But you can't do that if you don't have good control. And Charlie Morton's control has been so much better here that it's allowing him to go out there and have so many swings and misses. And you're seeing this. I wanted to show it. The curveball is getting more swings and misses because it's a really good pitch. But also, Charlie Morton is throwing his other pitches in places that make hitters have to think a hair longer. One last sequence, because this was my favorite sequence of the actual whole day for him. Okay? So watch this curveball. Loops up. And it's going to finish across. So I want you to keep in mind where that spot is. So the ball just came around. Hitter's thinking, all right, ball's going to keep breaking that way. He's probably going to throw another curveball, maybe something soft. But you know what they do? And Maverick, as he does a great job getting low, why don't we try to go high here? Why don't we elevate a fastball where he's thinking slow? He's thinking off speed. And right out of the hand, he thinks it's a similar spot. And you can see how perplexed Sosa is. And a high heater, a well-executed high heater to me is one of the best pitches that you can throw. And right there, Mav Handley calls a great game. Charlie Morton executes his pitches. And if he can do this and can continue to fill up the zone, Charlie Morton's going to be a very impactful player for the Baltimore Orioles down the stretch. And no, I'm not saying he's going to be a Cy Young down the stretch, a number 2 or number 3, but I do believe he has the ability to be very good. I think that we're going to see Charlie more like he was the last 3 years than the Charlie Morton that we saw the first month and a half of the season. So stay with him. But you're watching this. I don't care how old he is, Zach. A guy that age throwing the ball like that, any team would want him. And if he figures it out, he's going to have success even at his current age. But hey, if you like this, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Hold on, I'm going to get the light kick up. Hey! Oh!
Beautiful.
Boom, baby. And I see Brooks, you're right, him talking about throwing different curveballs. Yeah, I mean, he's got, in my mind, he's got the one he can get over, right? The one like, hey, how you doing? I'm going to get this one over. And he has the one to put away, the one that really breaks across. But if you don't have a feel for your curveball, you can't land it for a strike, probably going to have a hard time landing the off-speed pitch to have them chase. And then I'll take it one step further. If you can't throw your fastball for a strike, then that's going to set up everything else to be a disaster. And especially the curveball. You can eliminate pitches if they can't throw strikes. And Charlie Morton, that was his biggest thing right there. Oh. How are we doing, Zach?
Doing well, and actually, I did just brought it up. And so in wake of the there we are. I guess Ken Rosenthal put out that in wake of the 9th inning collapse earlier today in the Braves game, the Braves are calling up Greg Kimbrell to save the bullpen.
Craig Kimbrell, man. Our guy. Our guy. Good kid.
Oh, I'm happy for him. I hope he gets another shot. I hope he can kind of go out more on his terms. I know that people were soured with him in Baltimore, but I still think that he has some juice left. But what that is, I don't know how long it's going to be, right? I think he ran out of gas and he was fatigued. I think his injuries surmounted, and the combination that the Orioles couldn't find ways to win games, Zach, that was a big woof woof.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically over the past 2 years, he's been good up until he kind of fades out at the end. So I guess you call him up on June 5th. Maybe you delay that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you never know. Maybe that's something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I know we've been running for a little bit, went longer than we thought, but I did promise that we'd do some call-ins today, Zach. Is there any other things that we wanted to talk about, that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think
we wanted to talk about.
I was gonna say, I think we hit everything that we had on our docket. Yeah, let's get into. I'll put the call-in link in for channel members, and then we can do some quick call-ins.
Man, Jesus Luzardo got lit up again for the second time.
Yeah, he's not been
2 1/3, 9 hits, 8 earned runs.
He was looking like the steal of the off season, but it's funny enough. Baseball's a long season, lots of ups and downs.
You don't say.
I've heard a thing or two.
You don't say. Oh man, hey, Ollie. Yeah, and Brooks, I would agree. The mechanical part of what Charlie's done, he has changed it. I really wish that we could see more of a side angle from him of the delivery and the shoulder and how things can open up and where the slot that he's trying to find because obviously, yeah, the consistency of how he's throwing it is having more of the shape and movement. But as we all know, especially for pitchers, hitters, you got to have confidence to go about it. And fastball for me was the hardest thing for him to control. And it shouldn't be. Your fastball should be the pitch that you can consistently land. And he couldn't do that. And it's a good pitch. His fastball is sneaky. It's deceptive. He can leave it over the heart of the plate and get away with it for not throwing 100. So I do think it's very interested there. And we definitely could talk about it more, Brooks. You know, it's a circle. It's the circle. All right. So as you guys know, for the channel members, we allow call-ins. So if you're a channel member, you can click join, and we have the link available under the community post. And that's where you can join for our call-ins that we are trying to do every Thursday show, talk about whatever's going on and to do all that. Zach, any other thoughts? You put it in?
Yep.
We're good to rock and roll?
We're ready to rock and roll.
All right. I think I know who's behind curtain number one.
Yes.
The more you know with Arkansas. Joe, how we doing?
We're doing good, fellas. It's been busy. It's been a minute.
I know. When we got the consistency back last week, I know you weren't able to hop on. It's like probably the only time you haven't when we've had the call-ins, to be honest.
I crashed. I crashed hard last week.
You needed some rest.
Apparently, yeah. It's been busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're hustling. Big weekend coming up. Big weekend.
Talk to us.
Got the Hogs.
We got Arkansas and Tennessee in Fayetteville. Tony V, the champs, coming to town. You know what you got to do, right? You got to beat the man to be the man. So we took 2 or 3 from them 3 weeks ago, so it's kind of scary that it's that close together. But I think we can take care of business. The Lloyd brothers are smashing the hell out of the ball. One of them is a Golden Spikes finalist. So it'd be kind of interesting, kind of cool if we get a Golden Spikes award and a SEC Player of the Year in softball from Miss Bree Ellis. They unfortunately did not make it to Oklahoma City, but she's about to light the world on fire in the professional softball league that starts this week. So watch out for that one coming to a town near you.
Beast. Well, hey, the Razorbacks, man, they're trying to break through. I don't know why it was on my timeline. Maybe it's because the Arkansas connections. I don't know. Joe, it popped up the College World Series from Oregon State versus Arkansas. And you know, on that play, the reason why I bring this up, Caden Vermeer, who hit the ball.
Yeah.
That was my teammate in the minors.
I was gonna say he was
my teammate later on.
Shortstop, right?
Shortstop. Yep. So Orioles, I don't know if it was the compensatory pick or first round pick, late first or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at that. I go, oh my God. They go, that's Cade. And I went, oh my God, that's Arkansas again.
That is the year I actually started following the team.
Oh man.
Just welcome to Heartbreak City.
Yes, but I think this is the year that we have a solid pitching staff, solid bats. It's a very solid team, and let's get Dave Van Horn that natty.
Well,
he said last week after they knocked off Creighton's coach is retiring. He was heard telling the coach, "I got a few more left in me." So. He's going to be around for a few more years. I don't think Van Horn will get the most wins in school history. He's around 200 shy right now, so I don't think that's going to happen. But a couple more 40-win seasons, and it'll be really close. So we got West Virginia taking on Coastal this weekend. Go Sun Belt. Go Coastal. Get Jason a kidney.
John
He'll be happy.
Yeah.
Coastal,
I forgot you don't like West Virginia.
No.
Forgot about that.
They won't. They're
they knocked off Clemson though, so they're pretty tough.
They are tough, man. They are. And Coastal is actually that was one of the schools, Joe, before they went to the Rise. I looked down there. It was one of the final schools for me. They're great baseball programs. Gary Gilmore was the coach at the time. And hey, Coastal, they're playing with some fire after that last regional.
21 straight wins. 21 straight wins for Coastal. And
they are balling, man. They are balling, Joe. College World Series is always fun. I'm excited. I'm hoping for your Razorbacks, man. And they'll get it going. I got to ask real quickly then. I don't think we're doing this next week for the Iron Rooster, but I see you talking about the chocolate gravy. We are doing the chocolate gravy. I just want you to know. Like that's Kyle and I have talked about it.
We got to make it happen when they go to Omaha. We got to make it happen.
Oh, actually, that could be good.
In Omaha. We could.
Arkansas makes it to Omaha. We'll get some chocolate gravy going.
I gotta get Kyle what's on the schedule for it, but he goes chocolate gravy. We got it. I'm a little scared about it though. I'll be honest. I know it's
sweet.
good.
It's good. It's sweet. I've had it a few times. It's not something I go get every day, but
is it like fondue?
No, it's not that thick.
Okay. Well, learning more here, Joe. I'm learning more, but Razorbacks, baby, Razorbacks. I'm hoping for it, man.
It's going to be a time. So Saturday, and I was very disappointed that the Little Rock Trojans just couldn't get it done down there in Baton Rouge. They came very close. Jack entered the transfer portal today, as to be expected when you throw a complete game in the OVC and throw 150 pitches in 3 days in the regional. He's gonna get some money in a Power 4 school. He can just drive up the hill next year. That's fine. We'll take him up the hill. But we'll see. But it was announced on the radio this morning. He's because he has an NIL deal with the radio station, and they said he will not be back next year because he announced he's in the transfer portal. So if he goes to A State or Arkansas, they'll probably re-up the NIL deal. But it'll be interesting. That was Coach Curry put those boys on his back, and they didn't even finish 500 regular season. So
this is the way the cookie crumbles, Joe.
You get in the dance and you run, make a run. So
get in, see what happens, man. That's what it's going to be. Well, Joe, got to let you go because we got to keep it going. But I also just did get the confirmation from my sources that chocolate gravy for sure is happening. So, Joe, chocolate gravy coming your way here. I'm nervous. I'm scared, but I'm also excited because, I probably make the best chocolate gravy imaginable. So appreciate you, Joe. Be good. Go Hogs. Woo Pig Suey. And hopefully we'll be
great day to be a hat.
Hey, how about that? It's looking good. The silver and black looks good.
Have we made progress on the t-shirts, Ryan?
We are making progress on the t-shirts, and there's a little bit something else that's coming your way.
That'd be good. So,
all right.
I'll be on my best behavior for my t-shirt.
Deal. I appreciate you, Joe. You have a great rest of your Thursday and weekend. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Awesome, Joe.
Joe, chocolate gravy in Arkansas, maybe in to the College World Series. College World Series is phenomenal. That was one thing that I loved, Zach, when I never got a chance to experience in that sense. But when I was in high school, we played a tournament out in Omaha. It was 118 on the heat index, but we went to the College World Series as a team, and I thought it was the coolest atmosphere. So I loved it. Never went. Never had that road to Omaha. Went the professional baseball route, which we found out a lot of shit happens, and it's usually not what you anticipate. Also, I think Ollie caught something over here. Ollie, you want to come over here?
He caught something?
I don't know. He might have caught anything. Caught a bug. He's been pawing at it over there. I don't know, but you know what I do know? We got another caller coming on here, and I think it's the man,
the myth,
the myth,
the legend,
the man, the myth, the Brit, Mr. Nick, British Raven. There he is.
Hi, y'all.
How we doing, Nick?
Everyone's got the hats.
I know. Well, we had the hat on the trade deadline last year when we found out that Eloy Jimenez was getting traded. That was crazy. How did we find that out?
That was not it.
Good stuff. Good kids. Nick, my friend, how are you doing?
I am doing brilliantly well, as always. How are you all doing?
We're good, man. We're hanging in. You know, Zach's on. If the bet doesn't hit tonight, if Juan Soto doesn't do his
it's
thing
going
tonight,
on right now, and I'm so mad because I was between Juan Soto and Pete Alonso. I was like, you know what? Juan with the shuffle, he's got some confidence. I was like, I'm going to go Juan Soto, even though it's like Pete, 2 home runs last night. I was like, a little regression. Let's go Juan Soto on. Pete homer first at bat. I was just like, awesome. But Juan Soto, we're still locking it in. We're still here.
Just so you know, Ryan O'Hearn got a hit today already.
Yeah. I know.
And Maverick Handley has the first RBI.
Yeah, get on. Walk, wild pitch, advance to second, sack fly by Adley, wild pitch, get on and make something happen.
Oh, wait a minute. Did it register how they scored?
It was a wild pitch.
Yeah, wild pitch.
Oh, wild pitch. That's right.
Nick, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Nick, what's on your mind? Nick?
You know, I'm wearing the Orioles shirt today, but it's Rashod Bateman.
Yeah.
Extension. Heck of a deal.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
How cheap is that?
Especially for, like, if we want to talk about deals that other wide receivers in his kind of category were getting, there were guys getting $10, $12 million this offseason that you're like, Rashod Bateman is a level ahead. So for them to get him, I think this truly was one of those things where the team did right by him. He appreciated that. They went out there and they stood by their word, and they're like, no, you went out and produced for us. We're going to give you this money. He wants to be here, and I think they came up with a deal that everybody wins with.
Absolutely. The last deal was incredibly team-friendly too.
Mm-hmm.
So it took him a while to get here, but when he got here, he arrived.
Yeah, and he's been, down the stretch last season, and obviously the Buffalo game didn't go overall how the Ravens wanted, but Rashod Bateman, it feels like every single year he takes another step, and it might not be a massive leap like people hope all of a sudden, he's a top 10 wide receiver, but every year it seems like he's jumping over 5 to 6 more guys, and you stack that over 3-4 years, suddenly he goes from a top A, he's a top 60 receiver, to now we're sitting there and you're like, hey, Rashod Bateman can be a top 25 receiver in football. Especially talk about the separation, everything. If you get him the ball, if you want to force feed him, you can, because he's just going to find a way to get open.
Absolutely. And he was even better when we figured out that just like Batman, he does a lot of his best work at night.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Prime time. It's going to be Rashod Bateman time.
Big time bait. You know what I loved is he only had 756 yards. Right. So when you look at that and you go, well, did he really have an impact? If you watched him play last year, you saw him have an impact. Third downs, primetime games in the red area where you need to score. 9 touchdowns last year. And you're right. I think it was the Ravens gave him confidence that we believe in you. And then he goes out and plays better, his best year overall, right? He only had 367 yards in 2023. People were down on him, and he was a pro's pro. Battled, grinded. And then, Nick, it's showing that EDC and the Ravens are going, hey, man, we like our guys. He wants to be here. Bates definitely felt comfortable. And then, hey, Zay Flowers could be next in line. Who would have thought the Ravens actually have wide receivers that they've produced that want to stay here, and actually a lot of other teams are like, damn, these guys are pretty good.
It's a crazy world we live in, isn't it?
Wild.
It's crazy. Even during the draft, we were watching wide receivers go off the board, and we didn't even care.
Yeah, it was, Nick, it was the first time in years, and honestly, first time since I can remember as a Ravens fan, where there were wide receivers going off the board in that early second round, and I was cheering. I was like, grab all the wide receivers, let the DNs, let the edge rushers, let the linemen fall. Before we'd be sick to our stomachs. We'd be sitting there like, oh, there was another guy that we could have gotten. Oh, here we go again. Another second round pick that everyone wanted that, gets selected and you're like heartbroken over. It feels like this is it almost felt if they were going to take a wide receiver, you were like, why? Like, where does he fit in? And, I also love Tez Walker. I mean, I know you're a big fan as well, but I think they've got something special going on in that wide receiver room. I think they all have different skill sets as well, which I think is big. You don't have many copycat wide receivers, where you're like, okay, we got the same guy. It's a lot of guys who bring different skill sets. And then you add in, we want to talk about wide receivers. You can add in Likely and Andrews into the pass catchers, and you have a damn good core.
Damn good.
So you know what? Down that depth chart as well, you've got Tylan Wallace, who has done incredible things for the Ravens in the spots that he finds himself in.
I mean, Tylan's just got to come up clutch no matter what. If it's the late in the game, fourth quarter, and you need whether it is a big third down conversion, whether it's to house it and call game in overtime, it feels like Tylan is just a guy that you can rely on.
He has that game-ending ability. He tested positive for the clutch gene a very long time ago.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yes, he
And
did.
you know another guy who did that?
Who's that?
LeJontay Wester.
Oh, Colorado, to speak of.
Love it. Love it. Sorry, Nick, I'm roaming right now because Mr. Puppy is going, oh, woe is pup over here. Like, it's pretty. Ollie, come here. Come say hi.
I bet that dog.
Dude, he is hiding underneath the stools. It's so sad. You can't even see him.
You can't even see him.
Ollie, come here. Come here.
Come and be part of the show, Ollie. Come on.
Come here, buddy. Can you see me still? Come here.
I mean, we couldn't miss you, Ryan.
Yep. And it looks like the Mariners just tied it up with a Cal Raleigh single.
Of course they did.
Cal Raleigh, talk about a guy having a hell of a season.
There he is, Mr. Puppy.
There we go.
There he is. Yeah.
Can I pet that dog?
He has the. We talk about hands. He doesn't have it. Talk about mouth. Oh, there it is. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, he's riled up because Zach's got the hat on, so he's fired up. So, Nick, before we let you go, and also appreciate everything you're doing over in the Discord. We're continuing to grow it. We'll put the link in there for those that are wondering. You can join it. It's for free. And, you guys are enjoying all the festivities. And when football season rolls around, it's only going to get crazier.
Absolutely. Football season is something I really can't wait for. Baseball's getting back on track now, but football season is just different.
Especially in Baltimore. I mean, watching Lamar Jackson play the game of football is just always a treat. It's hard to be invested when you watch Lamar play football.
It was great to watch Lamar Jackson in London.
Oh, yeah, and probably a lot better than the last time the Ravens were in London.
I mean, yeah, but I have a story to tell.
Yeah,
about that day.
Yeah.
So I was very lucky to be in the hospitality suite for that game. Cost a fucking fortune, but I was right next to Mike Vrabel's office, and I stared that man out that game just before. And the game went on. Obviously, we won. And then Derrick Henry walked past me, and I said to him, "Join the Ravens."
Oh,
and he smiled. He knew.
He knew.
So wait a minute.
It was at that moment.
We found out right here. Why did Derrick Henry become to the Baltimore Ravens?
I had a hand in it.
Very own.
Our very
I'm
own.
not taking the credit, but I'm taking the credit.
1,000%. Well, Nick, I can't wait because the energy you have for the season is phenomenal. And we might have more boots on the ground activities ourselves as we are really, this is our second year of actually covering sports and having fun. And I'm sure, when I say that I'm sure, because I do know this, we have some things up our sleeve that we're going to be having here for some pregame festivities. And who knows, postgame, Kevin and Zach are going to continue to spice some things up. So it'll be good. But Nick, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday night because you're already ahead of us. And hopefully you actually can get to sleep at a decent hour with the sporting events taking place a little bit earlier today for you.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, but one can
Yeah.
dream. Nick, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Go Birds.
Appreciate you, Nick.
Appreciate y'all.
Awesome, Nick. British Raven.
Good kid. Good kid from across the pond.
Great
Good kid from across the pond. All right, I think we have one more call in.
Yep. She knows who she is.
She knows who she is.
Laura.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, Laura. We can hear you.
Okay. As you see there,
The headline right there.
I'm not saying the F word, and I'm not even saying the B word.
Don't do it.
Well,
Ollie can do whatever he wants. He's the studio pup.
He is. And now he's on the couch, chewing on his bone, and he's a happy pup. And he's happier because obviously, Laura, the birds are doing their thing. You know, they're hanging in.
5 in a row. Starting to work on 6. The shirt is not back out of the drawer yet, though. But if they win today, it may make an appearance on Kevin and Zach Reacts. It may. Everybody, no matter what Zach does, just go ahead and do the opposite.
at this point, yeah.
But again, please do that with money that you can afford to lose. 1-800-GAMBLER, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera. I got to put in my
listen to me,
disclaimers there.
Yes.
And I'm going to raise to you, Ryan, the question that I raised to Kevin and Zach the other night about Mr. Manzolino's future.
Mm-hmm.
And, the consensus seems to be that, he basically has to get the team, deep into the playoffs before they would consider keeping him. But I guess my thing is, if the team continues on this trajectory, that they may or may not make the playoffs, but why would we not keep him since he's clearly making a difference of some sort with the team?
So, and it's way too early for all of that, right? It's only 17 games into the Manzolino.
Yeah. The Manzolinos.
We're on a 5-game win streak, and we've won 8 out of the last 10.
I do know that there's a lot of guys that love his energy. They love his communication, and he is, personally, me knowing him, he's a great guy. Like I've loved interacting with him, both when I was still with the organization and then obviously on this side of it in the media world. But it really kind of goes down to how things do play out, right? If the Orioles play with inspired baseball and with passion, then you can really sit there and look at, well, maybe the option for a manager is already here. So you can look at it that way, just like when you go back to the Phillies when they got rid of Girardi. Thompson was the guy that they promoted and then went from interim to just being slapped with the guy moving forward, and they've had success over there. I think it really is going to dictate of how this season goes, Laura. And then if the Orioles stay hot and go, Manzo probably is going to be the manager, if I'm being honest. Like, if he goes and the team's winning, you go, damn, retool some things, but we have the guy that the players want. But if it's murky at all, like if it's I didn't say murky, but say the Orioles are stagnant then in the second half and they finish below 500 and it leaves that kind of bad taste in your mouth, then you're looking at who's the guy that's going to help take us to the World Series, because that's the end of the day. You either go out and get a manager that you think is going to take you to the World Series, or you have a player that's proven that he is connected with the players on a level that can help you achieve your goals of a World Series. So I think the coaching staff will change.
Do we think that's Mabry that's in there right now, or are we still thinking of going outside to like a Bruce Bochy, a Joe Madden, a Flaherty? These are names that are being tossed. I know it's early, but I'm trying to get the jump.
Yeah, I think it's just still way too early. But I think coaching staff, though, like hypothetically, Manzo, is there. and if he gets say on certain construction of the coaching staff, I think there will be some different pieces next year. But John Mabry, it's interesting to me because he was brought in and he could finish out the season, but it was a guy that the organization liked, the coaches like. Kind of seems like he could be here next year.
Yeah. Right.
Could be. And here's the other flip side of it, Laura, is a veteran manager that comes in is going to have to feel like a Joe Madden, like you just mentioned. They got to feel that they can run the team the way that they want to. Be respectful, obviously, of what ownership, front office, what they want. But if they're going to do their job the way that they hope to,
want to bring in their own people.
They got to bring in their own people, and they got to have their control. And that's probably one of the storylines I'll be really curious of, because we do know the Orioles are very analytical and they're working on trying to not be as analytically based, right? They're trying, they are trying to work back towards that. But that would require a manager to come in and to say, hey, I'm going to do it my way respectfully. And I think that's what I'm curious on. Or you find the next up and coming guy. Maybe it's Manzo. Maybe it is Ryan Flaherty. Maybe it is somebody else we're not talking about.
Ex-boy genius.
Ex-boy genius. Hey, you just don't need a genius in all of life and sports, right, Laura? It's about you got to be able to communicate well with the people that you work with. That's number one. Number two then is how can you instill the confidence in your players and put them in positions to go out and have success? And then number three for me, which might be the most important thing, is how do you manage your bullpen and help those guys continue to have success? If you can manage your bullpen, keep your hitters' confidence and put people in a good position, you're going to have a better chance. That's the hard chess piece and chess match that they're going to have to do. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin's not around for me to talk too much Ravens because I wanted to get his opinions on a couple of things. I did want you to make sure that you did go into the Discord and see my Throwback Thursday picture. Might be somebody you know.
Ooh.
From a long, long time ago. And I don't even know if you even tagged along on that trip with him.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Wow.
If you remember when, ESPN used to do their ESPN The Weekends at Disney in Orlando.
Yep. I remember that sweatsuit that he wore. That was his uniform after his playing career.
So, yeah, he came out and did his thing with Mike and Mike. And I got to have a front row, as you can see, standing there because I stood there all day long just to see your dad. And then there's a picture of me and my daughter. We were doing something over there because this was ESPN The Weekend was always held at Hollywood Studios.
Yep.
So you can go around to the other parts, but it was always held at Hollywood Studios. So we'd grab some nice picturesque spot. And that's her 17 years ago when she was 3. And she's 20 now. So.
Wow. My dad does look 17 years younger as well. Just kidding. He actually, I'll tell you what, Laura, it's
looking different, to be honest. To be honest, from then to now, he really does not look much different.
He does, and that's what I was just actually about to say. It reached a certain threshold when he retired, and I still look at that as my parents. Now I go, you guys still seem the same age to me the last 15 years.
But they have not aged. Speaking of which, when is Mama Kelly going to come in and make us some drinks?
That's a great question. She's dealing with a few things right now, but she's chomping at the bit.
Okay,
she's going to be she's going to be a pretty regular current person here, because we also have a bunch of these things, and she's like, hey, we got to clean out our house as well, but we also have some cool stuff that we might for the channel members, bring that into the equation. It's we talk about that have some pretty wild stories behind them. And except I don't know if I can give up this guy. I don't know if I can give up Cocky, Zach.
No, you got to keep him.
Is that? Or I don't know if that's.
I don't think that's the
What should his name be then?
We have to put it to a fan vote again.
That's terrifying.
Put the poll out there like we did Ripken.
Well, and what happened to Ripken? He
Well,
died.
I don't think Kevin can kill this one.
Ripken died.
He's dead. He's dead. Well, Laura, anything else before we get ready to log off, sign off for this show?
No, let's go ahead and call it a day. Call it a night.
Ooh.
All that good stuff.
Cool. Well, hey, hopefully when you're calling later with Kevin and Zach, you guys are talking.
I'll change. I'll switch up. I mean, this was today, but I'll, if there's a win, it might be a little bit different.
Let's hope.
Okay.
Maybe the O's can get something going, Lauren. We can talk soon about a win.
We're still tied 1-1, right?
Yep. 1-1 end of 4. 1-1
Okay.
end of 4.
I had to turn it off in the background to talk to you guys, so that I'm not listening anymore. So,
Ooh, we got to figure out if we do have a studio audience, or maybe when we do it out and about, we definitely, because we're doing live shows. We're doing more and more live shows. Maybe something special if we ever do it in our secret location.
you got to give me some heads up on some of these live shows. You can't just be like, it's Tuesday and we're gonna do this on Thursday. No, I gotta plan. I gotta travel.
Well, we're working on that, and maybe next year when we get down to the Florida area more, we'll have even a more detailed game plan for doing all that fun stuff. Deal?
That'll work.
All right, Laura, appreciate you. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, guys. Talk to you later, Zach.
Awesome. Talk to you later, Laura. Laura.
Oh, Ollie wants this, and Vados fan Yin Hen is
that actually might be the winner.
Wow, Yin Hen. Ollie, what do you think of? Do you like cocky or Yin? No. Oh, he's just staring at this thing.
Oh, he wants to tear it up.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I'm getting delusional now. But anything else, Zach, before we log on out of here?
No, Orioles tie ball game still. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can make it 6 straight. See?
Maybe we can make it 6 straight. And Juan Soto is 0 for 2.
Yeah, and the 2 guys in front of him and Pete Alonso have all homered, all of solo homers. It's impressive what I'm bringing on baseball players.
Yeah, don't bet on Gavin Sheets.
No.
Can't do that to our guy with your streak.
Yeah, we can't. I won't do that. I would never. Although, maybe he's or is Gavin Sheets the guy to break it?
Could he be the guy to break it? He definitely could be.
Let's get wild. Gavin Sheets 2+ homers. So that's how we're breaking it. Be crazy if he does.
That would be crazy. Also, I wonder what it was for Gavin Sheets triple. What the odds were. Because
I'm sure they did not even give that as an option. That was, I'm not gonna lie, when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh, okay. It made more sense. I saw triple on the box score, and I was like, did he hit one in the gap and get on his horse? But, it's a little difficult there in San Fran to play the outfield.
Yeah, hits off the wall, bounces 30 feet away.
I'm gonna say, I mean,
worked out.
Could have probably just putting it, 4 feet higher and just jogged around all 4, but, he likes to make it,
He likes to hustle. Yeah. I appreciate his hustle.
Wanted to get some cardio in.
Yeah, he needed it. I'm glad to see he's moving well after the Wall won the last battle.
Yeah, the Wall very much won that battle.
Yep. Well, hey, also coming up here, so you guys know, we'll be back next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And speaking of shows, Laura, we are going to be doing a show from Merit next week. We're trying to get those logistics, and we are trying to, when we can open it up to the full public for events. We got some things cooking later on into the summer and into the fall. But in the meantime, Merit Clubs will be having a fun little show up there on the rooftop.
Gonna be fun.
I'm excited for that. And Merit Clubs, by the way, shout out Merit. Appreciate them for everything they've done for us. And if you are looking to be a member, check out meritclubs.com. And let's just say we have some content coming your way when it comes to more fitness challenges on site. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for Sunday if you've waited this long for the end of the show. Sunday's conversation is going to be with Will the Thrill Clark. Will Clark's going to join. At least that's the recorded interview, and I think you guys are going to love it. If you've loved the other one so far, Will is unfiltered. Will is organic. And damn, does he have some stories and some great tidbits, too, on how to hit the damn baseball. So, Zach, that's all I have.
Cue the music.
And Steve, not at Virginia Beach yet. Soon, though. As always, here at the Ryan Ripken Show, it's been another great week. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great stinking weekend, and we'll be back again to do this, the brand new week of the Ryan Ripken Show, next Tuesday. See you guys.